morning. Welcome to News at Night for Tuesday, February the 23rd. I'm Colette Linden.
I'm Craig Huckerby. We have some warm temperatures, but we have a lot of sloppy snow coming too. I'll let you know when and how much coming up.
With the announcement of the closure of the Richards Landing Northern Credit Union branch, locals took to Facebook to voice their concerns. Locals fear that this closure will have a ripple effect on the community. The bank is located downtown Richards Landing, across from the Island Market, Moose Suites, Camilla's Island Cafe, and the LCBO. Shoppers would use their banking trip as a one-stop community shop to purchase the essentials. With a 45-minute trip off the island to do basic banking, this will draw traffic away from the downtown businesses. Islanders feel that Northern Credit Union has not taken into account the lack of self-service available on the island. High-speed internet access has also been a long-time issue for many residents of the island, not to mention many don't even know how to use their computers. Several business owners on the island use the Northern Credit Union to make daily business deposits, as well as buying change throughout the day if the register is low on coin. Stay with Sue Online for more information about what the plan going forward is for island residents. Ontario Labour inspectors are focusing in on warehouses and distribution centres, but the site of a major workplace COVID-19 outbreak is not included in the ongoing inspections. Canada Post has more than 300 employees at the Postal Service's Gateway facility in Mississauga, and they have tested positive for COVID-19 since the start of the year, as one employee has already died. Canada Post advised customers across the country to expect delivery delays as the outbreak impacted operations at the Central Mail Delivery Hub. But because Canada Post is a federally regulated Crown corporation, its inspection falls outside provincial jurisdiction. The president of the National Union representing postal workers said consistent standards should be applied to all workplaces, noting that the outbreak has had an enormous impact on all postal workers. Playing off the idea of little free libraries, the city of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan now has 2 free sled libraries to help the community enjoy winter's wonders. Rather than a book exchange, the sled libraries are aimed at ensuring everyone in the community has the opportunity to experience the excitement of zooming down a snow-covered hill. The Sioux News reported that the sled libraries are wooden boxes filled with a variety of sleds near the hills at the Sioux Seal Recreation Area and Brady Park. The report said that the organizers only asked that the sleds are returned after use. At a city council meeting last night, Mayor Christian Provenzano held up his end of a wager by sporting an LSSU Lakers jersey. The mayor explains why.
So before we get this meeting started, I think I probably have to explain for those who would be wondering why I am wearing a Lake Superior State hockey jersey. Some of you might recall, I think we really have, I guess, the play of the U.S. junior team to blame for this, along with Dan Gray at Sue Online. I'm not sure if Dan started it or our friend Mayor Don Gary across the bridge started it, but I was asked if I would be willing to do a wager on the World Junior game where Canada played the U.S. And of course, I was happy to do that because I believe strongly in our team. In any event, I was not the winner of that wager. The wager was that whoever lost would have to wear either, in our case, Mayor Gary would have had to wear a Greyhounds jersey to his commissioners meeting. And in this case, with the United States winning, I had to wear a Lake Superior State jersey to our council meeting. So here we are. I'm wearing it. I'm making good on the bet. Mayor Gary, congratulations. And Dan, I'm going to ignore all of your social media entreaties where you're trying to get me to bet on things in the future. Anyway, Madam Clerk, with that noted, we can start the meeting.
A Florida man has been charged with attempted murder following an incident at an eastern Upper Peninsula hospital on Valentine's Day. According to the Michigan State Police Sault Ste. Marie Post, troopers were called in to assist the Luce County Sheriff's Office with an incident at 7:45 in the morning on February the 14th. A 26-year-old man from Brandon, Florida, assaulted a staff member in the emergency room at Helen Joy Newberry Hospital. His name has not yet been released. Cynthia McCutcheon is the health educator and promoter for the Mamusing North Shore Community Health Services. Cynthia tells Sue Online how they have adapted their Aniche-Gawin health programming in times of COVID to continue to connect with the community.
So we've had a time trying to adapt our programming to COVID, right? We're used to in-person, we're used to gathering, we're used to sharing food, we're used to being together. So adapting all of our programming online has been a task. I'm the Aniche-Gawin health educator promoter, so I work with Patricia at Mom Lesying. So I only work in the West End. So I work with Thessalon First Nation, Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and also the Friendship Center. So Patricia's our traditional medicine practitioner. I'm the health educator promoter. So I do healthy eating, active living, diabetes education and prevention, smoking education, prevention and cessation, youth leadership, and then I'm also a certified and insured yoga instructor. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades. So for our Anja Jagawan program, normally we gathered in person, we had a sharing circle, we provided education, we did exercise together as a group, and then we'd give our participants challenges that they could do at home with themselves. And we always provided food. Oh, I miss the food. And I miss the people too, of course.
Remember last week when I said we weren't going to see any big storms this week? Well, things have changed a little bit. We have a clipper system coming in tonight, and it has a little bit of a punch to it. I'll give you all those details coming up.
Is going to a party really worth it? Putting yourself at risk puts everyone at risk. Help limit the spread of COVID-19.
Together we can reduce the spread of COVID-19. Taking the bus? Picking up a prescription? Getting groceries? Stay 2 meters apart at all times. Save lives.
And welcome back, everyone. Well, let's take a look at what we are looking like for tonight. Temperatures dropping off already. We're seeing a little bit of flurry activity out there already as the system comes in. This is a clipper system, and they're called clippers because they clip right in and they clip right out, but they can dump quite a lot of snow in a very short period of time. And we're expecting those heavy snow showers to develop late tonight into the overnight. It is going to become a little bit windy out there as well, so it's going to feel a little cooler than -2 this evening, dropping down to -4 tonight. We'll take a look at the overnight temperatures around the Horn, and yeah, we're going to drop down to -4 during the overnight. That's when we're going to see the bulk of the snow. -4 in Sudbury as well, -6 cooling off a little bit in Wawa, as well as in Timmins at -9 and -3 in Thunder Bay. So if we take a look at the satellite shot, we'll show you what's going on. This is the system that dropped the snow last night, just a centimeter or two. Then we just stayed with some cloud conditions today. And this is the clipper system coming in for late tonight, as I said. And we should start seeing snow showers around midnight, and then they're going to pick up quite a bit during the overnight. Drop about 15 centimeters by, say, noon Wednesday. That's the call right now. We'll show you that on the systems map. So this is what we're looking like for tonight. This is the clipper system coming in. You can see this dark blue here. It's a very small band. It's a very, not very big at all, but that small band does have a lot of snow in it. So as it moves in, it will dump its snow and then move right out for Wednesday. We'll show you that on this map. This is for Wednesday morning. This system's actually falling apart as it moves in, but you can see where the widespread snow right around the Sault and Algoma. So expect to have your shovels ready for tomorrow morning. This is the forecast for the next 3 days. This is how it's shaping up. For Wednesday, those flurries and snow showers should taper off in the morning. Temperatures rebounding to about +1 by afternoon. For Thursday, we have a little more cooler air coming in for Thursday, but clearing out a little bit. We may see a little flurry activity by the lake at -2 and +1 for Friday. As we start seeing another system come in for Friday night into Saturday, you can see temperatures, though, holding steady, not bad at all. These are still well above seasonal temperatures, and we start breaking out the sun full Monday and Tuesday, so that's not looking bad. I will tell you, we are watching a major rainstorm developing for late next week, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Keeping an eye on Jacob Moore for sports coming up right after this.
Do your part to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Cough into your elbow, not into your hand or in the air. Avoid touching your face, eyes, and mouth. Keep your distance from people. Stay at least 6 feet away from others. If you're feeling sick, please just stay home. Do the 5 and keep others alive. Help stop the spread of COVID-19.
Is going to a party really worth it? Putting yourself at risk puts everyone at risk. Help limit the spread of COVID-19.
Welcome back to your News at Night. I'm Jacob with Sports. I want to start off by talking about Frederik Andersen. We had a bit of a surprise last game where Frederik Andersen was a last-minute scratch due to a upper body injury. Sault and Keefe has announced today we're not sure on a timeline on when Andersen will be coming back. And I quote, "It's all I got for you. I don't know what's going to happen from here." Reason why he's saying that is we're not really sure when Andersen's going to be playing, and unfortunately we're also not really sure when Campbell's going to be playing. So this means the net minding job is currently up to Michael Hutchinson. Michael Hutchinson so far in the 2 games he's played for Toronto was 1-1 with a .914 save percentage and a .305 goals against average. Now, I've seen a lot of hate towards Michael Hutchinson on last night's game. I want to make this very clear. That game was not Michael Hutchinson's fault. In a game where the Leafs are the highest scoring team in the league, we don't score any goals, they did not look ready to play, you really cannot blame your third string goalie for allowing 3 goals on 33 shots. Hutchinson did what he needed to do by keeping his team in it. And Leaf Nation, we need to accept that Hutchinson's probably in for the next couple games, because the Leafs also aren't going to rush Andersen or Campbell back in, because you rush them in, they re-aggravate the injury, and next thing you know, they're out for a couple months versus a couple weeks. So I think Hutchinson is going to see the net for a while, especially since the Leafs' 4th string goalie, who is now our backup, Joseph Woll, has never played an NHL regular season game. So I don't see him getting into the mix anytime soon, unless by this time next week where we have back-to-back games if either Campbell or Andersen is not ready to go. So continuing on the topic of the Leafs, I want to talk about William Nylander. William Nylander has been a very controversial topic this year for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's been a player who has been, there's been times he's been great. There's been times he looks like one of the worst players on the ice. On Saturday night's game, he was actually benched for most of the 3rd period. Now, Sault and Keefe has came out to say that he doesn't feel William Nylander is a lack of effort. He feels that William Nylander is just finding him the right spot to fit into the lineup. Now, according to Wheelhouse Media, there's been some talks about William Nylander potentially requesting a trade, saying he thinks maybe a change of scenery would be good. So it'll be interesting to see if William Nylander gets dealt or if those rumors continue to turn into something bigger and maybe even happens. Now, mind you, William Nylander, there seems to be a rumor about him being traded every single season. I don't see Nylander being moved, but we'll have to just wait and see on that. Let's continue with the NHL and talk about the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens have slipped, as we talked about yesterday, from 2nd in the division to sometimes 1st in the division to now 4th in the division, after losing 2 straight plus having a week off. So this is very, very crucial for Montreal to win the game against the Ottawa Senators tonight. Now, the Ottawa Senators are a team, they like to play spoiler. They've been very good at beating teams that they shouldn't be beating, such as Toronto and Montreal. So for Montreal to win this game, Carey Price needs to play better. Price has been very inconsistent of late, so I'm looking for him to have a really strong bounce-back game. Montreal needs to do a good job at slowing down Ottawa's forecheck. Ottawa does a really good job at pressuring the other team's defense, and that's where the other team starts to make mistakes. And Montreal needs to make sure, no matter what the score is, they keep playing. We saw what happened earlier in the season when Toronto was up 5-1 against Ottawa towards the end of the 2nd period, and then Ottawa came back to win that game 6-5. So if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, you better hope that Montreal does play a full 60 minutes, because Ottawa is a team, they don't care what the score is, they don't care how many goals they're down by, they keep pushing to try to win. Now, quickly before we get into Ottawa's keys to victory, an important piece for Ottawa has been missing the past couple games, which is Thomas Chabot. Thomas Chabot has been out with an injury, and we are not sure when he will be back, but there has been some speculation that he may be playing tonight. Both the coach and himself said he's been feeling a lot better his last couple practices, had a very long skate today, so he's hoping that he'll be back in the lineup tonight, but it's still kind of a 50-50 shot whether we see Chabot tonight or another game later in the season. But for Ottawa to win this game, they need to make sure they do smart dump-ins. Carey Price is very good at handling the puck, and they want to make sure that they're not giving Price a lot of opportunities to move the puck around. As many players have said, playing against Carey Price is almost like having a third defenseman in a defensive zone. Ottawa needs to make sure they continue their strong forecheck and pressure the Habs D. By doing this, they're going to be able to create a lot more turnovers, and it's going to give them a much better chance of winning the game. And keep it a low-scoring game. I think that's a key thing for Ottawa. They don't want to get into a 7-5, 6-5 situation against Montreal, who is a much better team offensively than them. Now let's switch gears over to basketball. The Raptors have had Kyle Lowry in the NBA All-Star game for the past 6 All-Star games. So it'll be interesting to see. At the moment, the Raptors don't have any player in the All-Star game. So there's been talks, will it be Kyle Lowry, will it be Pascal Siakam? It's looking like it's going to be Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet is on a career high with over 20 points a game and ranks 3rd in minutes in the NBA. He's also played every single game this season. So I think if any Raptor is going to make the All-Star game, it's going to be Fred VanVleet. Now I want to finish off sports with, I would say, a feel-good story for most. Leaf fans, you might want to cover your ears a little bit. We all remember the Zamboni driver who came in a year ago yesterday to beat us. Disney has now picked up the rights to turn his story into a feature film. What's interesting about this is 24 different studios has been trying to get the rights to the David Ayers story. David Ayers said it's been very strange having all these people approach him, and it's just been for him almost like a movie, and now his almost like a movie is going to be turned into a movie by Disney. But that's all I have for sports. Colette will be right back with more news right after this.
As night falls, 37 million Canadians turn out their lights and settle down for the night. But as we sleep, there's something interesting going on. House hippos have returned to Canadian homes, but they're extremely hard to spot. They enjoy admiring their reflections, hoarding socks, helping themselves to your devices, and annoying your pets. It looks like Canada has a house hippo problem.
Or do we? We brought back the house hippo to show how easy it is to be fooled in our digital world. Find out how to tell what's real and what's not at breakthefake.ca.
Today is Canadian Agriculture Day, and our Sioux Online reporter Josie visited the Coulter farm for a brief tour from Perry and Kim Coulter.
Perry and Kim Coulter have one of the only Century farms left on the island. Perry has been working and living on this farm his entire life.
Now, my great-grandfather was located here back in 1875, and I'm the 4th generation, and, well, at the moment, the 5th one is standing over yonder.
What kind of stuff do you grow here?
Well, my dad was mainly... well, a lot of his life, he had cattle, of course, and he had a flock of sheep. I've just got cattle, and most years I've bought a pair of young pigs and raised them for meat in the fall.
And our chickens.
Well, yeah, I got some chickens too. There's, I guess, close to a dozen here.
And the horse.
And, well, yes.
Perry, what do you think it takes to be a farmer?
You got to have a lot of determination and certainly not be economical on ambition. As both of you know, I put in 43 years over at the high school, and it's taken the high school income to basically keep this place afloat.
Canadian Agriculture Day is February 23rd. Have you heard of Agriculture Day before?
Well, I can't truthfully say that I have, but I presume that the idea behind it is a day to, well, basically to try and teach you folks about agriculture, to promote, yeah. That's what I presume the intent is.
Your food doesn't come from the grocery store.
Exactly. You take 99.9% of the population has no clue that their food comes from anywhere other than the grocery store.
Support Canadian agriculture on February 23rd. Think about where your food comes from and thank a local farmer. For On TV, I'm Josie Fegan.
In a tweet this morning, the Public Utilities Commission explained a rise in prices going forward starting today. The provincial government has announced that its fixed off-peak rate for TOU and tiered customers have officially ended. The new rates that were sent by at Ontario Energy Board will last until April the 30th. You will still have a choice between tiered pricing versus time of use as seen. Morgan Arrington, who is studying the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program at the University of Guelph, had quite an encounter. Morgan and her father, Albert Arrington of Arrington's Wilderness Island Resort, became concerned when they noticed that a loon was in distress. It was on the thick ice in Batchewana Bay and you couldn't find open water. You can read the full story on Sault Online and myalgoma.ca, but keep an eye out for this special friend. If you're around the St. Mary's River, it was spotted Monday afternoon near Clerg Park having a rest. Okay, Craig, lay it on me. How many centimeters are we expecting?
Okay, so here in the Sault, we could see anywhere from 5 to 15, which I know is pretty vague, but that's the call. But the good news is, if you consider this good news, and maybe bad news actually, next Friday, not this coming Friday, we're watching a major rainstorm where we could pick up a lot of rain and wash the snow away. So we're watching that for sure.
That's awesome. Can't wait for that rain to wash the snow away. Thank you for joining us on News at Night. For Craig and Colette, please continue to watch for more news and weather, and have a great evening.